Oh, hi! Welcome to a Fifth of Jack Gaming, where today we're going over our haul for the entire month of June. Yep, that's right. It's the start of July. It's the first Wednesday in July. So you know what we do on Wednesdays? We go over the haul. Plus, I got a nice little bonus that we have. We have not one box, two boxes from OPB that we can end up opening up and showing what's inside and see what you could be expecting to be in from the OPB treatment. Also, we're going to be diving into OPB, where they have just launched another update, I guess is the way to be saying it, to be making your orders and making sure that you're happy with the way that the order comes shipped. So, without further ado, let's break it down how we're going to end up going. My friend Tyler, or AKA Illuminati, ends up having an amazing way that he ended up doing it, and we have adopted it ourselves. He normally ends up having manga, which we don't really have too much of that around here, but then he does independent, which that would be like Image, Dark Horse, anything like that. Then we end up doing DC, and then we finish off with Marvel. Why Marvel? Well, in the collection it's the preferred brand, but you gotta give DC its due as well. So, with that said, let's break down and see what we ended up hauling throughout the entire month of July. Here we go. We got no manga. I'm sorry, I haven't really picked up much. Budget-wise, it's been a little bit more tight, so we didn't pick up manga. However, OPB did have a Whatnot sale, so we picked up a few things from there. What did we pick up? Well, our next thing is Independence. So, we got the Rick Remender deluxe copy of Scumbag. This is their deluxe copy that comes over with it, and if you don't know what that means it's going to be a bigger book, and I would say this is more of like a library size of a book, and I've heard really good things about the story itself, which makes the guy, well, he's a scumbag. So, hopefully that doesn't go over too crazy, but it's a nice little pickup for that. Next up, we're going right into DC because that's the only independent that we have. So I went over to a bookstore and we picked up the compact version of Bar Sector. Heard good things about it, plus I wanted to get something that deals with the compact wise. I also want to pick up, the DC Finest. I want to pick up a story from there and be able to compare the different formats. I know Jake over at Boy from the Blaze, they ended up breaking that down pretty decently, but I wanted to get my own fingers on it to be able to figure it out. We already have the premiere of Black Panther, so we got a couple different formats that we have that's going to be more budget friendly of a way to be able to get into a format and get into a book. And I would like to see how that ends up going over and see how they stack up against one another. Don't mind that. That's a little cringer back there. He's being a little bit crazy back there. But continuing on the DC train, we have a deluxe copy of Superman Birthright by Mark Waid. And this is going to be another origin story you can end up having for the good old red and blue of Superman. And that's not the only thing we got Superman-wise. We also got Superman All-Star, the deluxe edition as well. This is also the special cover for that. I think this is a year of the Superman or something like that that we ended up picking up. But that's also a way where you end up getting one of the most powerful versions of Superman. And we end up seeing how that ends up going. So, last month we did end up having the passing of Peter David. And during the Whatnot sale, we had stuff going on, and it ultimately ended up wanting me to pick up this book because this is a book I commonly end up hearing about it. And no, it's obviously not Hulk because we're in DC, right? So that means that we ended up picking up Young Justice. It's a chunky book, like you can end up seeing, but I've heard nothing but good things about this. And I feel like I needed to have another thing that comes over with this. And it's a comparison, hopefully, over to Young Avengers against Young Justice and see how we feel about the two different groups. Both younger teams, and we'll end up seeing how they end up going head to head. Alright, so that covers our entire haul that we have so far. Mister, you leave that cup there. Having a little bit of fun here. I'm watching you. Okay, so that comes over to the other part of the haul, and I said you gotta leave that up there. We're gonna come over to the fun part of the haul. We're gonna bust a couple boxes open, find out what's inside, see what goodies we ended up picking up from OPB. And if you happen to go to Old Grand Price Books, you can use the discount code of 5th of Jack to be able to save $2 off. If you have 4 or more books, use the code Jacket Together to save 5% off your entire order instead. Yeah, we'll make you wait just a few more minutes before we end up cracking those boxes. But that also means that we're going to end up showing you what OPB ended up adding over to it. So we'll go over a good old display capture, slide over to OPB, and we're just going to go over to be able to show you this. We'll just go to their sale that they have going on and add a random book into an order. Let's go to Superman or Spider-Man by Miles. All right. After the mass chaos, focus back up real quick. So we're going to slide over to this Miles, and we're going to go over and come down to the couple options that you have. You have it added to the cart, but before you add it into the cart, you have the 4 different options that you have here. You have it with the peanuts, which most people don't really care for, but they are biodegradable and they're non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about that. Then you have bubbles, which is bubble wrap, and then you have the classic insert, or you have the 4th and the final option that you could go with any. Any means that they could package it however they end up getting over to it. And this is giving you something that you can end up doing, setting it up, trying to get whatever style of ways that you want the books to be shipped to you. That's right. This is a new way that we're going to end up trying to wrap up. They're continuously trying to work their way, trying to get better about making it to give you the best product that you can get at the door, how you ended up wanting it to be packed. And now the big thing that you've been waiting for. The unboxing. Slide Mister out. And it looks like this is packed the Bubbles way, where you end up having bubble wrap wrapped around the book, protecting the book from any kind of things, where it doesn't make any sound and it doesn't end up moving. Then we got our Marvel book with Wolverine, Volume 6. This is going to be quite clawful of an experience. This is where we end up having the bone claws. This is a standard cover. I was very tempted to get the DM cover, but for some reason I felt like it was clashing way too much for myself. But we ended up picking this guy up. And as you can see, no damage whatsoever. It's going to go nice with the Wolverine collection. And now we have one more box that we're going to crack open. Legitly just came in today, just in time to be able to do this review. And it looks like this has another option that you could end up having. Is the insert option, which we have right here. This is where this has been packed with the insert that's involved. So we had the bubbles before, and now we have the insert. I don't need that. So we take the cardboard off top, and you end up seeing that it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures Compendium Volume 1. As you can see, with the insert, it ends up protecting the book nicely. That way it doesn't have any kind of damage or any chance of getting damaged in the process of shipping. And as you can see, like I said, no damage in the corners, which is a normal common problem. And it looks like we got a little bit dinged, but they know how I am about the books. So this is pretty awesome that we end up having. So we got the Turtles Adventures Compendium Volume 1. So that covers everything that we have from this little haul. And just to review, obviously, we got Teenage Ninja Turtles Adventures, Wolverine Volume 6, Superman All-Star, or All-Star Superman, Superman Birthright, and some Scumbag. Pretty good little haul. Oh, I forgot. The book that I was ended up reading, I don't have it here for the haul, is Superman Up in the Sky. I'm in the process of reading it. That's why I forgot to end up grabbing it. But that is also part of this haul as well. It's a Tom King book, and I have to say, little spoilers, it's pretty solid so far. It's kind of crazy of the adventures that you end up seeing that comes out of it. Especially coming from a Walmart book. That's the entire haul for an entire month of June. And that ends up covering what we ended up picking up and what we got going on. Did you pick up anything? Let us know down in the comments down below. Also, if you're liking the content I put out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified whenever we come out with new content. And until next time, we'll see you later.